following us for a little while, you know that we've been doing journeys through the Bible and meeting different characters and going to different places. And we started in the Old Testament. We've been making our way through. But today, because it's Easter, we're going to skip ahead a little bit to the New Testament, and we're going to talk about Jesus. So we're going to get to talk a lot about Jesus this year, but we're going to do one of his stories today. And I thought before we drive in our car, we could use these Easter eggs to tell our story. So first, we got to find number 1. So this is egg number 1. Let's see what's in there. Okay, can I hold it up for the kids? What's this, Rye? Do you know what this is?
Red.
Red.
Well, we use this for Passover.
This bread represents the part of the story when Jesus had something called a Passover meal with his friends. And this meal was really special. They actually celebrated it every year, but the year that we're going to be talking about was really special because this was the last dinner that Jesus had with his friends before he went to the cross. So this was a pretty big deal. So this bread represents the Passover dinner. Let's see. Here's number 2. Do you want me to open this one? Or do you want to open it? You got it? Number 2. Okay. So this is a little picture of hands. I don't know if you can see that. And they're praying hands. And really, you can pray anyway. You don't have to fold your hands like this. But a lot of times when we see a picture of hands like this, it makes us think of hands and someone who is praying. And we have this in the story because after Jesus had his dinner with his friends, he went to a garden and he prayed and he talked to God. Do you know who God is, Rye? To Jesus?
His dada.
It's his dada. Yeah, God is his dad.
Are those hands praying?
They're praying. So when he was in the garden, he was praying. He was talking to his dad. He was praying for himself because he knew he was going to be going to the cross and that was going to be a really hard thing. He was praying for himself and he prayed for his disciples. And then I love this part. He prayed for you. And he prayed for you and me. How cool is that?
Did he pray for
you? Yeah, and me and the kids who are watching. Yeah. Let's see, this is number 3. Ooh, good job. So in number 3, we have this strip of cloth. And this reminds us of the part of the story. So after Jesus was praying, he was arrested, and there was a really long night, a rough night, and then it was rough. And he died on the cross, and then they took his body off the cross and they wrapped that up, and then they put it into a tomb, which is like a cave. And that brings us to number 4 here. Oh, it's heavy. Get ready. Oh, it's a heavy one. Oh my word. What's in there? Oh, it barely gets out. Can you tell the kids what that is?
the rock?
Our rock.
Joy.
It says joy on it. Yeah. So we have this big rock in there because it reminds us of the part of the story when they put Jesus' body in the tomb and they rolled. It took a lot of guys to roll this big heavy rock, whoa, in front of the opening and closed it up. And it was really heavy. And no one could open that easily. And then that brings us to number 5. So a couple days later, Jesus' friends went to the tomb, and what did they find? What's going on with that egg?
I guess that's the tomb.
That's the tomb. Is there anything in there?
Nope.
Nope. It's empty. It's empty because after 3 days, God rolled that rock away and Jesus is alive, which is what we're celebrating today. That's the best part of the story, huh? And then that brings us to number 6 because Jesus being alive changes everything. And it's the sweetest part of the story. So there's chocolate in there. You're going to have some? Yeah? So I thought for our, thank you. Chocolate for the road. I thought, too good. For our activity today, we could go back to that first egg about the Passover because I think that's super interesting. I would like to learn more about the Passover. Do you want to learn more about that? Do you have special things you do on Easter? Things that you do every year? Yeah? Well, Jesus and his friends and a lot of people in Israel had special things, and they still have special things that they do every year on Passover. So today, that's what our journey is going to be. We're going to pretend to go to the Passover dinner. So hop in your car, Riley. Get your passport. Today our verse is Matthew 28:6. And it's all about Jesus being alive. All right, here we go. Buckle up, Ry.
I buckled up.
Okay. Now we're going to park our car. And we're going to do a little walking. Okay? So when Jesus was alive, there weren't any cars, huh? And people did a lot of walking. And
I would have left.
you're going to leave that passport? So they did so much walking that their feet would get really dirty because they wore sandals when they would walk,
I'm
huh?
not in the upper room.
You're not in the upper room? We're doing our video for the upper room, huh? So, you know how before you eat dinner, it's usually a good idea to wash your hands? Before they ate dinner, they would wash their hands, but they would wash something else. You know what they would wash, right?
Your feet.
Their feet! Because their feet would get so dirty from all that walking on the dirty, dusty road. Sometimes there was like donkey poop or camel poop on the road. And sometimes they stepped in it. So they definitely had to wash their feet. Usually they would just wash their own feet. Or if they were at like a really big house that had a lot of money and a lot of servants, the servants would wash their feet. So when the disciples went in for Passover dinner, they were so surprised to see who was getting ready to wash their feet. Do you remember? Jesus! That's the King of Kings. He was going to wash their feet. They were shocked. And at first they were a little bit embarrassed. They didn't want Jesus touching their stinky feet. But Jesus said, I do this because I love you and I'm showing you how to love other people too. So I thought we could wash your feet, right? We'll take these off. Jesus did this for his friends.
Did you take off my sandals?
We'll pretend those are your sandals. And then maybe I thought this could be a good time to show the kids because they've watched you for a while. Can you tell them what these are?
What?
What are these?
My braces.
Those are your braces. What do they help you do? Walk. These give Riley some extra support so that she can walk, huh? Super great. So these are her braces and they look like that. And underneath your braces you have toesies.
Well, socks.
Socks. And then your toesies. So there's your feet, huh?
Are we gonna...
Okay, so got our bucket here and our bullets and a towel. I'll put the towel like this. You like to check out the lines, huh? On your feet from your braces. We'll wash them up, it'll feel good. So Jesus put this cloth in the water. Got their feet all clean.
I guess you are like Jesus.
Yeah, I'm following his idea, his example. So I'm just washing your feet, but Jesus did something really cool. He did more than wash his friends' feet. When he gave his life on the cross, he washed away all the yuckiness called sin. And he did that for his friends, and he did that for me, and he did that for you, Ry. He did that for our buddy Chris. And his girls, Tina and Corinne. He did it for you guys at home.
We'll dry it up.
Yeah. So we dry it up. Is that cozy?
Dry me up.
You love purple.
Thank you, purple.
Riley names everything. This is her towel named Purple. Okay. So you got clean feet? Your hands are pretty clean? You ready to try some food? Should we go sit at the table? Yep. So over here.
And there's a purple.
Yeah. Oh, and a purple cushion. So over here is our table. And we made this little table kind of low to the ground because when Jesus was living here on earth, his tables would have been kind of low to the ground. So they would sit on these cushions and be kind of low to the ground, and they could kind of relax and like kind of lean up against each other while they're eating their dinner. So dinners were a real relaxing time, and they would tell stories and do lots of laughing. Did you know Jesus likes to laugh? He does. So also they would have eaten by candlelight. So I got a candle. Should we light this? So we can have some candlelight.
Are we being like Jesus?
We're imagining how he could have eaten his dinner, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so there's our candle. And before we get started, I have some pictures here. You know, our friend, he's my uncle actually, but Pastor Bruce, he went to Israel a couple years ago, and he took these pictures because I was asking him, you know, what kind of foods did you eat? So he sent me some pictures, and he said there were olive trees everywhere. So they ate a lot of olives. And these are pictures of some olives growing on a tree. So we'll put this on the table here, and then, yeah, this. Do you know what this is?
Hummus.
Hummus. Bowls of hummus. He said there was hummus at almost all the meals, and he said it was the most amazing hummus he's ever had. So lots of hummus. Do you like hummus?
I do.
Oh, this. Oh my goodness. Do you know what that is?
Turkey.
Turkey. Oh, that's a good idea. This is a fish. Pastor Bruce said there was fish almost at every meal, even breakfast. Can you imagine eating fish for breakfast? One of my favorite stories about Jesus is when he had a picnic breakfast on the beach with his friends. Here's some more fish. More fish, and then let's see. Oh, this is a picture of vegetables. He said there were lots of fruits and veggies, and they were even at breakfast as well. Lots of fresh things. So I thought we could try some things here. I made us a Passover plate with some ideas. So
I want fish.
okay, we'll do the fish first.
What are these?
Okay, can I talk about we have goldfish, so I didn't get real fish, but this represents the fish they would have eaten.
What is this?
Could have eaten. This is called a fig Newton. So these are figs. You see this, Riley? You can hold that.
A fig Newton.
This is a fig, and then they make a cookie called a fig Newton, and they put the fig inside the cookie.
What is this?
That's called a fig. So Jesus might have eaten figs. They're chewy. Do you want to try it? Nope. It's very chewy. Do you want to try the fig Newton? It's like a cookie. This is called a date. They would have had dates. It's also very chewy. Is that interesting? Does it feel kind of sticky? Dates are really sweet.
And so I might have had to wipe my hands on
Yeah.
after my date.
Do you think Jesus had to wipe his hands? Probably, huh? You got messy too, huh? Is that interesting? Oh, good for you. Trying new foods. Put your fig on here. What do you think of the date? Yep. And then, let's see, we got some olives. So here's a green olive. You want to try a green one? Or there's a purple one. These are very strong, I'd say. Oh, you want to try it? Or lick it? Is that interesting? And then we have our fresh veggies with the hummus. You ready to try the hummus? All right. That's what you like, huh?
Did you get cukes?
I got cucumbers. Try some hummus. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what was at Jesus' Passover meal, but there might have been some of these things. And then we do know from reading in the Bible, there was definitely bread and he had a drink. And that's where maybe you've seen your mom and dad take communion, or maybe you've had communion before, but that's where we get that whole act of communion from, is from Jesus' dinner with his friends. And Jesus told his friends that the bread represented his body and the drink represented his blood, because he was going to be dying on the cross, and we do that in remembrance of him. Yeah, so that's something. And if you have, this is a big story, and if you ever have any questions, you just know you can ask me, Miss Megan, or Miss Monica, or Josh, or your mom and dad, because these are some big things. But we'd love to talk about it with you more, and we're going to be learning more about it this year. So thank you for joining us on our Passover, and maybe you can try this at home with your family. It's been kind of fun, huh? Can you say Happy Easter, guys?
Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter.